In 1956, Syracuse University's Jim Brown was perhaps the best running back college football had ever seen, but he was unable to become the first African American to win the Heisman Trophy. Some said if Brown couldn't do it, it might never happen. 1 year later, Ernie Davis took the field.
How did you get involved with a movie?
You know, I got the script a couple of years ago of The Express, and I thought it wasn't very good. It wasn't very compelling. But I did love the idea of this great kid and what he did in his life and his career. And so I went to meet with Jim Brown, who went for the Cleveland Browns and played at Syracuse before Ernie Davis, and I said to him, "Can you give me the way into the story?" And Jim Brown gave me an hour of his time, and he talked me through the real stuff. The real stuff. The times, you know, what he went through as a player, what Ernie went through as a player, and this coach that Dennis Quaid plays. And I said, that's the story. And all of a sudden I found I had a way to sort of, an ignition point into telling the story in a much more dramatic way.
Can't let him treat you like that. Not say nothing.
I do my talking on the field.
Look at that young man go! Syracuse just may have found their next great halfback.
You know, I think so much about sport has been shifted by the news and SportsCenter and ESPN with the idea of, like, what are they driving, how much are they making, what are they taking. There's a lot of stuff happening sort of beyond the field. And the idea of a story that's really bringing the audience back into the point of view of a character who loves being on the field and loves playing and a certain joy in the sport, I really miss that. And I think that, if anything, for me, the film, it plays, you know, according to the screenings and the previews, plays to men and women and guys in my age and up, but also it plays to kids.
Right.
And I think that I love the idea of kids who are on teams, it could be football, it could be baseball teams, you know, basketball teams, seeing this movie and being reminded that they can get back to the simple joy of being on the field.
You think we've been south? We ain't been south till we go to Texas.
We shouldn't play him.
I have a responsibility to my team.
Jack, Art, and me, we're all a part of your team.
Maybe, Coach, the rules down here are your rules too.
Rob Brown has this openness in his face. You know, there's a certain twinkle and a certain edge, but there's a certain spirit, humanity.
When I first met him, a year before I made the film, we had a general meeting. He walked into this cafe in LA, and I went to have a meeting with him, and he kind of had those eyes. And it's intimidating. He kind of, you can't, not only is he, you know, on his character, you can't really lie to him. He has this quality that he brings out. He kind of sees into your being. And he has an ability that I think Ernie Davis had to make you feel like you can only be honest with him.
Now that's something for colored folk around here to open up a newspaper, Ernie, and see your name. You owe them more than just running a ball.
I think the discovery that's interesting is that he was a guy that overcame a lot as a kid. You know, he stuttered and he had certain issues of communication as a child. He grew out of it, and he was this beautiful guy. He was very conversant, very communicative, great athlete, great guy. And then there was a game. It's in the movie, the Cotton Bowl in Texas, which there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't want to give it away, but it was very dramatic. It was very hard for him. And that night he called his mother, and he was stuttering again because he was so upset by what happened in the Cotton Bowl that day. And I thought to myself, I love the idea that in every man, there's still the child.
What defines success as a director?
I think the ability to know that you're always learning something. I think as a director, if you think that you've stopped learning the process or how to be a better director, you should quit.
Right.
I think that for me, it's always been about every day I get better, I learn something new, I realize what I don't know.
Just like life.
Thank you so much.
Don't you let anyone steal history away from you.